SBI Perspectives. Driven by insights delivered from experience.
Welcome to SBI TV, driven by insights delivered from experience. SBI helps innovative companies grow their revenue, margin, and enterprise value in ways never before possible. I'm Matt Sharrers, your host, and I'm also the CEO of SBI. Today I've got a special episode, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this. So many of you have been loyal followers of SBI and clients. We were really excited to launch a new business last year, which we call Growth Accelerator. I'm here with Managing Director Nick Toman, who's been with us. And Nick, great to see you as always. You look good, my man.
Not as good as you, Matt. Not as good as you, my friend.
See, that's a smart guy right there. So Nick, I guess when we had this idea for Growth Accelerator a couple years ago, we bounced it around. You and I were fortunate to have met. And then we started talking, and next thing you know, we sort of stumbled on this thing around building something for growth execs by growth execs, but knowing that you are the brainchild behind this, maybe just talk a little bit about what Growth Accelerator is, and you and I can give a little bit of an education so people in the market know how to think about us.
Yeah, and I think, Matt, a lot of this really stemmed from client feedback. And I think clients kind of look at our capabilities as a world-class consultancy and say, listen, there's no reason we shouldn't have more ongoing access to your people and to your resources and to your data, particularly your data. And I think that really got us thinking about, can we bring a product to market that does tap into the very best of SBI, but do it in a way that's a little non-traditional for us, right? Not necessarily a team of 5 that we drop in for an 8-week project, which carries with it, a certain amount of change and a certain amount of price, let's just face it. But put something together that is a little bit more approachable, a little bit more right-sized relative to what clients need, and get a bit creative with the packaging around our capabilities as a firm. And I think that was kind of the push-off point, which sent us down, a lot of learning, a lot of iteration in the market to arrive at what we think is a pretty interesting product and offering.
Yeah, and it's funny. And for those that are watching and listening, I went to Nick as only a completely distracted idea guy can, and I said, got all this client feedback. People are saying, hey, once every 3 years when I need a consulting project and I want that kind of blunt force trauma, good. But for those other 150 weeks in between, do you have anything that just helps me keep the car on the road? So I guess, Nick, this sort of continuity that we went after and you brought so much insight, maybe just talk a little bit about what Growth Accelerator is and what are 3 or 4 value points that somebody could think about as they're trying to unlock growth on a sustained basis in their company.
Yeah, so really what we've done along the lines of taking the very best of SBI is turn it into a subscription-based offering. And really the way we think about this is it's predominantly an advisory service, but really it is unlocking a series of experts inside our business, our benchmarking, our data, and putting it into an always-on, sort of on-demand packaging that's really oriented for those who lead growth initiatives across the company. And really, I think an important aspect of what we heard in the feedback and as we brought this product to market is, don't just think about any given functional role. Think about all the various functions that play a role in revenue growth and really do manage the business's go-to-market functioning. And that's what we've created with this offer.
And then, Nick, if I was thinking about it as a head of sales watching this show, or as many CEOs or sales operations, sort of the sorts of folks who tune in and are focused on growth. So if I've got a question, I pick up the phone, I dial 1-800-SBI, and I've got an always-on advisor. I can get data. What are a couple of the other things I get? And then maybe you and I could jump into a couple of examples so people get a real taste.
Yeah, and I think, Matt, obviously you see products like this that are sort of based on content, but I want to be really careful in how we've thought about this. This is not a white paper desk, nor is it a research desk. This really is, it's a co-working model. It's a white glove executive level support model. So you call up the 1-800, go SBI or whatever hotline. And the beauty of it is you're going to get the same person time in and time out as a dedicated advisor. We felt it was really important to do this to ensure continuity, to ensure understanding, to ensure that we knew who's who inside your organization and what's happening so we can tailor our services appropriately. Now, that person may not always be the expert from our end in terms of, say the issue is sales compensation. Maybe your advisor is a sales comp expert, maybe they're not. The point is they're going to get you to the right expert inside SBI and do so in a warm, contextualized, highly tailored manner. So it's not sort of a transaction with some other analyst or some expert on the other end of the line, sort of hiding behind a white paper and sort of pointing at it saying, this is what you should do. Good luck. And that's not what the model's meant to be. So I think that's a big part of what we're doing, Matt. Other aspects of it really are unlocking the power of peer-to-peer and executive level relationships in a new way that only we can, I think, through our events and in the intimacy of the networks that we've built. Whole series of other capabilities that we are currently developing right now around data and benchmarking and putting more intelligence into the benchmarking capabilities we have to get to really, really targeted, on-point benchmarks. And even, Matt, looking forward, beginning to put in place predictive modeling capabilities to help executives understand what exactly does my performance mean against this benchmark? What am I leaving on the table? And what do I have to do to fix this, and how can you help me fix this? So a lot of capabilities we're packing into this offer.
Yeah, so folks, Nick and I are going to give a couple quick examples now. The way to always sort of summarize something like this is, if you're leading a business, growth, and specifically organic or integrating inorganic growth, it's an all the time thing, not a sometimes thing. So when you think about doing a project, as Nick said, that's very intense, it's very focused. And that model still exists, right? My great friends at McKinsey and Bain are wonderful in the project business, as are we, and that business is going to be around for a long, long time. But in between that, how do you have sustained performance? And as Nick has taught me, kind of the Home Depot model, you can do it, we can help. So I guess, Nick, with that in mind, maybe let's just pick an example so the team can get their teeth around it, and then we'll wrap up the show for today.
Yeah, so Matt, I think one we've been doing a tremendous amount of work around lately is just supporting the growth planning and annual planning process. Here we are right now. It's the beginning of Q4 if you're on a calendar aligned fiscal. We just came out of kind of that end of Q3 period where all the annual planning starts, and really a resource like ours plays an important role in being an objective third party who can really help bring together the leadership team, ensure coalescence around the plan, vet the plan, stress test it, bring benchmarking, bring external perspective into it, make sure that what initiatives are being sort of declared and the bets that are being put into motion are indeed best practice and supported with the right processes and the right infrastructure in the right direction. But do that through this model where it's not sort of an intensive study and bringing a team of 5 in and it's going to take us 8 weeks to arrive at recommendations. We do this in the flow of the planning process. We may host clients. In fact, we've done this a few times now. Matt hosted clients at the studio in Dallas where you are today. Go out to their facilities and bring the leadership team together, or in these times that we're in, do it virtually. The point, where we do it doesn't really matter, but it's that process of going through, working with the individual leaders, bringing a common point of view together, helping the CRO get that point of view articulated in their strategy, get the initiatives declared, help them think through structuring, points of accountability, metrics, KPIs, all of it, Matt. And this really is something we're calling launch planning. But we help you launch into the next year's plan with a full head of steam and as a verified, vetted, almost objective third party, having looked at it and said, you know what, this is a good plan. It works for you. It's stage appropriate. Go get it.
Yeah. Well, Nick, always good to see you, brother. You look fancy on Zoom. So I got to say, I think I want for the rest of the month, I want you to stay in the jacket and the dress shirt as good as you look. I'm sure Erica would agree. So you might even get a dinner date tonight at home.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.
All right, so to everybody else in the audience, always appreciate your support. We're coming up on 2 decades, and one of the things about building a growth platform like we've done at SBI is being able to listen to the market. We've always said our consulting business, as Nick said, very traditional model. And in times like this, and what COVID has taught us is flexibility, now having this flexible, always-on model that allows people to flex up and flex down in their way truly helps us help you reach your goals. So until next time, thank you as always for tuning in to SBI, the Growth Advisory.
To learn more, visit sbigrowth.com.